Steel Talks is very pleased to have with us today Mr. Ralph Davies, one of the founding members of Pentatonic Steel Orchestra. And we are actually outside. We're taking advantage of the beautiful weather. It's fall, but it's still sunny. And we have with us Mr. Ralph Davies, the founding member of Pentatonic Steel Orchestra, four-time champion panorama band in New York. But more than that, you are as well an integral member, or have been an integral member of Desperados in the Hills of Laventille in Trinidad and Tobago. So welcome, Mr. Davies. Great to have you with Wednesday Talk.
Thank you.
All right. You're part of what's known as the golden era of Pan in Trinidad and Tobago. What are your memories of the best parts of that golden era?
Well, I'll start from the beginning of the new foundation of Desperados. Because this era started in the early 60s. Our first panorama winner. The first time we ever win panorama, and first festival was like a village competition, which we had played a terrific classic by the name of Marriage of Figaro. The judges was all amazed and stuff like that, to see how could steel band portray this kind of music and stuff like that, because it was difficult. It was very difficult. Also in 1966, we were the first steel band ever to win a Triple Crown. We were Triple Crown winners of the Panorama, the best bum. They used to have a bum competition in those days every Jubilee morning, and the best playing steel band on the street also. And in that era, steel bands used to learn like a multiple amount of tunes. It wasn't like the panorama tune only. We had a selection of about like 20 tunes we played all on the street. For instance, that year was like King Tang, My Brother, Your Sister, Roslyn, My Fair Lady. All these is the selections
That one band
will learn. He was the band. I told you we had like 20 different tunes that we played on the street for the road only, because we had a Triple Crown. We had a Triple Crown record, LP, in that time. And our arranger was Beverly Griffith in those days. And for instance, the first year that Clyde Bradley joined us, that you'll have to say joined, because we went searching for him. He was like a cat. He was hungry. And hearing about this man and the music that he was doing in Casanovas and stuff like that.
So at that time, was he with the Clarence Kerwin Orchestra?
Bradley?
Yeah.
No, he was with, Beverly was with Clarence Kerwin at that time.
Okay.
He was with Casanovas.
Okay.
And we went to the University of West Indies to get him, Rudolph Charles, to get Mr. Bradley. And what he did in 1969, that was his first steel band experience in Pan. First time he experienced a steel band. It was a combination of himself and Beverly Griffith. Beverly Griffith had already left the United States of America, and we were searching for somebody to take his place
as an arranger.
So we got in touch with Clyde Bradley, and Rudolph Charles was hungry. He was a desperate man. He reminded me much of like George Steinbrenner. He wants to win. You don't like to lose. And that is the kind of attitude that I adopted from him. I hate to lose. And he went to the university and brought Bradley in. But Bradley was still into the instrumental situation. So he didn't know anything much about steel band. So what Beverly did, he sent down his version of what he wanted him to do. And they combined, and they work a tune named Fasaye. I think they played Sparrow. I think they played just through the fifth of my memory scale to that. And from there, the following year, which was 1970, Bradley came and he won with Margie in Trinidad. It was the smallest band that Desperados ever
right
in a competition. What had happened is the band left for New York. The stateside had left for New York in 1969 also, the ending up of the year. Later part in the year, and most of the guys had stayed over. So we got about like either 50 or 60 players, if I'm mistaken, but the most was 75. I don't think we had reached 75 in the month amongst us. And he won with Margie. He beat All Stars. All Stars had portrayed Margie also. And from there, everybody get very interested in this man, Clyde Bradley, because they heard what he could do with steel band music, and he was from there. He went crazy. Dead crazy, and he had loved it also too, because he quit the music business and he took the steel band, because Desperados was the band too. He was big at that time. When I say he was one of the most popular steel band in Trinidad at that time, because it's there we started rising. That was the rise of Desperados in those days.
Let's go back a bit into history. When was the first time you became aware of pan? About how old were you at that time?
About like 15 years of age. Those days we used to use there was single pan round neck. We used to build tents. You see, like what we're sitting under here. This is like a palace to what we used to be in. We used to be in like we used to go to the bushes and cut bamboo. And this what we have up here as of right, the 2x4 until we used to have the bamboo. And then we cut the coconut branches and go over it. We used to have flambeau, kerosene flambeau. We used to light something like that. I was so little that like they used to put bricks, red brick, under my foot to keep the pan up, to play the pan and stuff like that.
What pan were you playing at that
time?
Second.
Single second we used to call it.
We want to talk further about the rumors we have heard that you were a monster second player. We will get down to that later on, but let's stay at the young age that you were, 13 and so.
I was one of the first, how to say, well, they call it youth pan now, was a little boy, played pan in Trinidad. I remember those years. People didn't used to deal with steel band. You couldn't mention steel band. Women playing instruments now, steel band instruments. That was out in those days. They didn't want to see a talk to a steel band man. And for instance, I was playing with a band like Desperados. I remember myself, P.J., he was the captain of the band at one time too of Desperados, and Andrew McDonald, Hunter, Nolly Nicholas, the deceased. We started as youths. In those days, there was guys like from Woodbrook, like Moutabi from Invaders. We all started in the same ride. Kovajack was our tune at one time too, because we had that Invader styling. I give you see, my memory coming back now like how we invented Jackman. They call him bassman now. Rudolph Charles was such an adventurous person. He went to Sawo and brought Jackman to Port of Spain. He saw him tuning pan by a river, and he was very convincing when he talked to him, Mr. Charles. Because he had that Steinbrenner thing about him. He loved to win. Boy, you staying here, you ain't doing nothing here, you're with a band, you can't go nowhere, you ain't doing nothing. Come down to Port of Spain, man. You get to go places, I take you places. And this man really came down. And we had a combination of two tuners. Was Emmanuel Riley, better known as Kobo Jack, and bassman. And that year we played. It was like a historic year, because the combination we had with our pants, it was nice. It was the best sounding band on the street that year. That was 66 again. A glorious year, man. You know, never forget it.
Was that your Triple Crown year?
That was the Triple Crown year, you know. It was beautiful.
What year did you actually start playing, when you were like age 13?
Yeah, well, the year, I have to go back to see, I don't remember the exact year, but I remember the calypso that we played was Melodies, Ice.
Okay.
I don't know, I think that was like either 59, between 59 or 60. That was my first year. I remember we played Eskimo that year. Desperados. We had this hot suit. You know, it was very humorous. It's humorous now, you know, but it was terrible at those days, and you couldn't forgive me for saying so, but you know, like in those days too, it was like the area that our band was from. You know, we was Dr. Ike Williams was our he was the head of the constituency. He was the man in our constituency, East Quarter State. So they used to say we CNM band. So they feel like he was favored. Everybody, any competition, we're not going because, you got Desperados or Panam North Sky. So that was the two bands at them times, Every time a trip comes for Trinidad, the steel band thing is either Panam or Desperados. Tripoli had already moved forward already. So our era came after Tripoli. So Panam North Side Desperados. So, and we had some nice experience. Some nice trips and stuff like that. It was nice.
When was the first tiny art set up to the best of your knowledge?
In Trinidad?
Yeah.
Well, we were first at, we started off at Low Place. They called it Low Place, Mother Duck Yard. Okay. Our first arranger was Carl Greenwich. Robert Greenwich uncle. The guy with the bumps on the EBCs also, from Pino Star, EBCs also. And what we started there in that yard, we had a versatile group of players. We used to move around pans. We never used to play one pan. He teaches us to do that. In different tunes, you move from one pan. And in those days, like, we didn't have the four pans and all those things. We had grundet, we used to call them grundet, like a half a guitar, double guitar, and things like that. 3 bass, instead of the 6 bass and all this stuff and things like that. And then we started bringing tenor bass and stuff like that. But he was good, Carl Greenwich. That's you have to say that's the man that put us on the road also. He was one of them.
You mentioned trips abroad. You traveled with the band? When was your first year? Where did you visit? My first trip was Dakar, Senegal, 1966.
What
was that experience like?
Well, it was kind of scary, your first time you're going abroad and stuff like that too, and then you're going in a strange country. We all had a difficult experience because I remember crying one time to come back home. I want to go home. Plane goes there like once a week. A plane will land there. So they started making fun of me then after, like that. If you could get a plane, go ahead. That kind of, if you could get a plane. And I said, what is this, It's a different, that's a young age, so you're homesick and your first time. What is this going on here?
How long did you stay in Senegal?
We stayed 21 days.
Oh, you were homesick.
I'm telling you, very much so. And
3 opportunities to go.
And it's hot in the days, And in the night time, you got to be like a windbreaker. It was a very difficult experience. And then the first trip also, so. But it came out to be a good one afterwards because you could manage yourself after that. So you prepare yourself to go other places. Yeah, So it was nice. The first trip the band made was in 1964. The band went to Canada. But it was an experience. We had problems. We couldn't take the amount that we wanted. Only 13 members had. So it caused a conflict in the band also. But we couldn't lose the trip. Rudolph Charles to show us that we got to pull together, everybody couldn't go. So we had that kind of, we came to an agreement and understanding, and we worked it out and thing, That time the band billing, so we couldn't let it fall. That was the first trip the band ever went on. Canada.
So Canada, Senegal, and where else did you travel with the band?
England also, we went to England, Symphony Hall, music, Symphony Hall and stuff like that. It was nice. And then that was, when we came back to Trinidad, that was it for me. I had a funny kind of experience. I started thinking now, big, and that was blew my mind. If I'm an experienced musician, and so I'm an artist, and the money wise it wasn't coming right and stuff like that. So I started to get a kind of swell-headed and thing, and I started jumping the park. So they said, "Boy, why are you doing this? You could play so good." And I said, look, I like to do other things. I used to play soccer and things also. I'm playing good football. I'm playing cricket, people coming from me. I'm traveling all over the
So you were traveling in sports as well as music?
Also. I travel all over Trinidad to play sports. I was a good footballer also. Cricketer. I'm playing tennis. I'm running. I represent Laventille. I represent Laventille in every living thing they could talk about. And I never leave the hill. I born there. And I started from where I told you about, from the head of Piccadilly Street you could go right back up to the top of Laventille. And everybody will know me because they used to call me Mr. Laventille. Desperados. I remember I walk in the street and people just come up to me, I know you're staying somewhere, boy. You're from Laventille. I remember when I was a little boy, I used to come out to watch you play pan coming down the street, and it made me feel like I'm so old, you know. But
you're just paying tribute.
Right, and I appreciate, but I carry a good number 2, you know, man. I look this way, but I carry a good number 2 next month. The 21st of October, I'll be 59. And I appreciate that. I thank God for that. And this body gets good abuse. So if I didn't get that, you know, I'll be much better, looking much better. And I thank God. And
you look like well.
Thank you. And then like the mortal body to looks to be deceiving to, you know. But I'm hanging in there, you know.
What is the major difference that you would personally think of in terms of comparing the great pan players in your era and the pan players of today, the young people of today? What are the differences, the pros, the cons?
Much different, man. We was much more versatile than them. We take on more serious than these kids here. Just I'm doing it for fun. They're not really they're doing this because they don't have anything else to do, and they just have it like a fun thing. It's like school clothes on their vacation, and they're playing it. But we was die hard. We was into music, the pan. We didn't know anything else. So we was very we used to make sacrifices. So that we come out in the evening. We would practice from like 6 till 12 midnight. And we seriously practice. And when we get to the pan yard, we doing nothing else but playing pan. We come out for pan Saturday morning. Our pan yard, it always have people 24/7. Tuna there, food cooking here, and something happens, some kind of activities. Pan. And we take pan very serious. We take our steel band music was very serious to us. We didn't have to get money. Now these guys getting paid and things like that. I remember many years, year after year, in a row, we present the sticks and say, we ain't playing next year. Because if you have no money, we get $2.50. $2.50. You understand? And we throw the sticks. And as the season come along again, sometimes before the season starts, you get your sticks and you're ready to go again. Because this is what we know. And it's so funny. We used to get sticks on chairs. Like the chair that sit on the home in the dining room and the living room. We used to take the middle part.
Right.
You know what you know what I'm speaking about. And we cut that out and we used to make sticks with that. Now they're buying sticks and they have rubber and the thing in. You know, they have it made, you know. We go through hell. We go through hell, you know. We have drums now. They just throw away half a drum. In our time, we used to make 2 pans from 1 drum. Now they just make 1 pan, they throw away the next half. We used to go through in people's yard and take the top. They used to wash in it and things. The other half, the people used to buy it to wash. In the night, carnival coming up, we have the short and drums. We throw the water, we throw the clothes. And you know, it's history I'm giving you here. And it's going on all over Trinidad, not only up the hill. All over Trinidad, you throw away the clothes. And you're going with the drum because we need a side of guitar. You know? I'm telling you, you know, people wouldn't like to hear these things. They say, what are you talking about or something like that? But I've given them, you know,
the history.
Yeah.
This is how hard it was
to
find an instrument.
Very hard. Very hard. It was very difficult.
That's what it was.
It's very difficult.
And you're talking about the 60s.
Of course. This is the 60s, the late 50s.
And 60s.
Early 60s. Going on there. It was difficult.
So your advice, if you had any, to give the pan players, especially the young people coming up in New York, the entire pan community, what would your advice be to them if they care to take it?
I would like them to try and read music, because our problem is what caused us to get left back is because we couldn't read music. This was the problem. You see, now they have an opportunity. They could go to school and learn music, because our talent, the talent that we have to play this steel band instrument without a score in front of us, I think it's very amazing. We have retainers to remember certain tunes without any writing in front of us. Or you could call a tune they played last year, A man come on the pan and they play without a score in front of them. That is knowledge. That is you don't even know the right word to use for that, because even musicians, real musicians that read music, find it so amazing at how these people could do this, the retainers they have. So I like them to go to school, because this music in this 21st century, it could go places.
As well as it will support the natural power of retention.
Of course.
Going back a bit in terms of history, where would you say pan came from? I know that's a wide question. People have different ideas as to how steel band began.
My knowledge about it is like from bamboo tambo. So from bamboo tambo days. I remember I saw them playing it. How I saw them singing it is the biscuit drums. They used to have well, you might not know about this also. There was a biscuit we used to play. She used to play 3 for 7. A sweet biscuit they used to sell in Trinidad. You know, when you go to school, they used to give it with milk. You remember that milk in the school? So the drum was very short. It was like a slang bass is the bass that the guy the drummer does play. It was shaped just like that. And they used to pound that all the time. I remember we making drums rubber also. They put rubber over a pan and you tighten it with wire and you just keep beating it so all the time so. My first Labor Day experience here was so. The first Labor Day I experienced here in this country, in New York, was like that. Wasn't any steel band. No steel band. We had drums, rubber drums. We went to Prospect Park also.
Remember what year was that?
That was 69. We went to Prospect Park and we beating the drum and going down the road. 70 the same way, you know. And then steel band started to come up and, you know, and started with, that's a mistake. The first steel band, I think, was Moods. That was originated on St. John's. And then steel bands started coming from their soloists. Another band started organizing and things like that.
What you said there is a natural lead into another question. What do you think it is about Desperados from the Hills in Laventille that has led to such successful spin-offs or legacies in New York, such as Desperados, Desperados USA, Pantonic, Metro? I mean, each one of these bands can trace their lineage back to the Hills of Laventille, Desperados, whereas other powerhouses in Trinidad and Tobago, they've not necessarily been so successful in having a New York representation. Tried, things haven't really happened. You know, what are your thoughts on that? Why it might be the case?
One answer I could give you, Clive Bradley. Clive Bradley, he's a master, and what he does, he's a teacher. So the experience that the people have from Trinidad with playing with him, from the time you come out here, everybody wants to play Clive Bradley music, and you have that patience. Nobody is perfect. He have ways that people doesn't like and things like that, but he's a big man. Everybody has their own life to live, but he has a sort of a thing with him. He draws people to him.
Following.
Yeah, definitely, and they love his music. His music is the best. They could say what they want. It's the best, you know. So that's the answer to give to you. It's Clive Bradley. Just say Clive Bradley, and people will come. They're going. No matter where you tell them, down in there, Laventille, they're going just to hear Clive Bradley music.
And so that would mean, of course, that he's been an arranger. Well, he's the current arranger for Pantonic, but as well he's been an arranger for Metro. Of course, Desperados USA.
Definitely, and the people and we keep following. Yeah. You see, so the crowd come out. The same people that he arranging for in Trinidad, most of them came out here. So as soon as they came out here, we formed a band, and most of the bands in New York also originally formed from Metro. Metro was the number one band. Desperados USA, Pantonic, Mr. Band in India was the Merger. Merger, that was the next band that also came up from Metro also. Desperados USA, Rados. All these bands came from one group, Metro. It was one powerhouse. But then too, the guys are so versatile, as I say from the hill nowadays. Most of them is arrangers. Most of the guys that I play with. Franklin have his own band out here also, that is Caribbean Youth.
Panoramic, CYT.
Yes, he also. You understand? Denzel Botas.
And
Sarge. Well, Sarge, he did music for us 1 year in Trinidad also. But I was going to give you a little history on Denzel Botas also. I actually teach him to play pan also. Yes, because like and he's proud about it. He just tells people about it too. Because like when I started playing pan, actually people didn't have kids couldn't have come outside. You know, in fact, the parents don't want them outside at all because in those days steel band was marked. Steel band had a brand. You understand? So he used to get a little place. He have to hide. Also, I have to take a little hide too. Remember, the father coming and hunting me all in the night because I had to go to school in the morning. But they keep telling me, Mr. Aubrey, we go take care of him. And I was very watched. I was taking care of in Laventille. People, you could put me here and you come back and you know I getting home safe. They dropping me in front of the door. They tell me, don't worry about him. The whole village, that's how you got to answer. That is how it was. It's not so anymore. You know? Yeah, we had some nice experience. Nolly the deceased, his mother and my mother, go way back everything. Miss Maury, Miss Telma, your son up the street, he's safe, don't worry. We go drop him home. Football the same way. We playing sports. I play in between big men. I the only little guy between big men and you know. And I can sit back now and I just watch these guys. That's why they just call me Papi, you know. They say Papi. I say, boy, everything you do, guy, you know, don't try them tricks on me and all these things. You know, I'm saying that. I know a couple guys in the band also too. Others. When I look back at them, I see myself. For instance, like I have a little one named Sean. That's my real body. That's Ellis. He's still tenor. He's good also. And when you're good, there's no culture like you don't really. I don't think it's advantage you're taking, but you carry yourself in a way that you know you could play. This is how I used to move. I could play. I used to leave the practice. I go on gambling. I go on playing sports. So that would come and look for me. Rudolph would come and say, Cardinal. He used to call me Cardinal also. Cardinal. He said, Japan. Beverly Mia, you know. I said, don't worry. And tomorrow, before you say 3, before you come 3, I take the music already because I had friends. They will give it to me. If I come in and I just say, this middle will come in for 10 o'clock. The center open and we pick it up and we there in the center all day. We had a community center, we used to rehearsal. That's after we moved from Mother Dot. We went to the Laventille Community Center. That was our main house. You understand? So it was like that and like we had to plan seriously, very serious. I was our brother, that's food for us. It's like that, you know, we used to take pan very serious, man. We wake up, we used to breathe pan, we eat pan.
It was food of the soul.
It was food of the soul. You see, we used to enjoy it. These guys don't enjoy what they're doing now. They doesn't. They're doing it because they didn't have anything else to do. They're doing it because like it's a time to get out of the house, to get away. They tell their parents they're going up in the pan yard, but we had love it. I remember I played pan with my shoes, with just the top, no soling and things like that. And we going out, we had to go out and play. I play for the Queen. We play for the Queen, I have no shoes, my foot rubbing on the ground so bottle could cut and things like that. In Trinidad? At the governor's house. This was our glorious year, 66 again too. We and Guinness Cavaliers. Play close like you sitting here to me, just like this, and she coming over the instrument and singing.
She spoke to the pan man?
To the pan man. She introduced handshake and things like that. We all get that because we was playing one of the tunes are called Ting Tang. The lyrics were like this: Ting Tang, Mama, the Queen and the Jew dancing and things like that.
Right.
And you know, Kitchener sang that. So we played that, and they played this on the record, so she heard the words, so she memorized it, and she came out, and she was dancing, and we had fun. We had fun on the governor's grounds, in front of the house, and things like that. We was the only band go down and to play for. You know, we had to change costume after we take off our blazers, we put on our carnival clothes, our costume we go in the panorama with and stuff like that.
Right.
It was nice. You know? Memories there, boy.
You've touched a lot on Rudolph Charles. Now I want you to focus on him, your experiences with him, what it meant to work with him. You know, your influences. You said he instilled basically the desire to win and never to lose. perfection.
I learned a lot
Build
from
upon
him.
that.
I learned a lot from him, man. This is why I think that Antonics, people have looked at our band, our group, but we doesn't mainly put it on the Laventille focus. But this is the kind of determination I have, and the drive I just carry again. A Rudolph Charles drive. We will go to the extreme to get the best players. It costs us sometimes, but this is how he teaches. I learned from him this way. He went all over Trinidad and looked for the best players.
Best of anything.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Manufacturers, arrangers.
You have your issue also there too. You have it there too. You have it there too. That is the kind of person you can. That is what is Antonics. And people have looked at us very simple. But our leader and gender forward, Gomery, is the one that have her here right now. We grew up like brothers and sisters in Trinidad. Anybody interfere with you in Trinidad, she say, bring that and there's no, not me, I ain't interfering with that girl and things like that. And how she managed to get involved in the steel band thing is through me again, as I tell you. And we brought this band and she got involved, which she was always in our, how do I say, in the group the same as she was together with us in Trinidad, but the steel band thing, she wasn't that much involved. Her father was a mass man also. Her father used to bring a music band. They used to play dragon, red dragon. Those when they crossing the water and stuff like that. Sunny 40 deceased also. But she wasn't into such a steel band thing as how she get involved here and things like that. And she liked it. She liked it and she does put and she does do a whole lot. People might look at her very simply, but she does a whole lot. You understand? And they have to respect her for that. Very much so. She does a whole lot. Serious woman. You understand? Like everything, everybody have their ways. Like I told her the other day, me and she just get into it, but it's my sister, I love her to death. You know, and she we just cross, but she ain't going against me too anyway. I just tell her, I said, listen to this talk. She said, Brad, you talk with me. You're calling my name and you're telling me. I said, don't talk about the queen, the president. Who is you that you ever talk about? You understand? When things go wrong, we have to talk, you know, and she, you know, we respect one another for that and thing. But she is nice. And without she, Antonics is nowhere. You know? Antonics is nowhere.
What is the formula you would think for success of any steel orchestra? This is just a question in terms of the wider.
I know. I think it's the first thing I love. You must love what you're doing. If you don't have love for what you're doing, it's dead. Love is the number one thing, and you have to sacrifice. You have to make sacrifices because, like you know, you don't earn anything, you don't get nothing easy these days. Everything takes a certain amount of things. So you just have to put out love number one. And hard work, because we work hard.
As you mentioned about sacrifices and, you know, nothing comes easy. What does it feel like to know that these battles, in terms of fighting for a carnival, fighting, you know, for the police shutting you down, you guys in Trinidad and Tobago, you all had these issues in years gone past. Now, steel band in Trinidad and Tobago is more or less a given, it's accepted. People no longer run from the police, etc. Now, you're in New York, fighting the same fight all over again.
Well, to tell you the truth, it doesn't have any. It doesn't have any difference to me. Like it's harder here. It's much harder because the kind of money that you have to put out for places, you didn't have to in Trinidad because
even in terms of renting,
right, and facilities and things like that. Because in Trinidad, you could go next to anybody's house and play pan music and set up your band and things like that. It doesn't disturb them, it doesn't bother them. But you can't do that out here in America. You got to go in a restricted area because you're disturbing the peace and how they call it, you got to have a noise permit and all these kind of things. You have to have rent, money to pay rent and all these kind of things. It wasn't so. You could sit down anywhere in Trinidad and play your instrument. You set up, you see an open space. You set up.
Open plot of land.
Right, you know. So it's harder out here. It takes much, and the tuners, well, they have a thing they feel early in New York, and they had to make money, what everybody calling big money. To tune pan and to arrange. You see, the arranging part is another thing, so everybody wants big money. You see, people might think about it like badly, but we have such a relationship with him, and like I say, go from Trinidad. So like, we say we spoiling him and things like that, but this is how we know
he's grown
up from Hill.
This is a relationship that you had with Clive since 1969.
I'm telling you,
so we
it's
talking
love.
35 years.
It's love, natural love, and he does look forward to this too. He does look forward to this. He know I ain't going nowhere because he tell the plane I ain't going nowhere. He had at the banker one time in Trinidad. I'm gonna give you this joke. It's so funny that, and he never went up Panorama until he came back to Desperados also. Rudolph Charles had fired him in if I remember the year. I was out here also. But you know, I keep relationship, and what they used to do in Trinidad, they doesn't do it now. The band in Trinidad used to keep the older guys out here informed of what's happening. So we had like a Desperados out here. If something go wrong, they will send for our advice and our opinion, what to do and what we think is happen, all kind of thing. And he get fired. We don't just fire him. Even Desperados was going through a trend through afterwards. He couldn't win a Panorama also till Robert burst out in 90. Robert won the first Panorama after that. It's musical volcano. Oh, you have your history, girl. You're doing good. You're doing good, sis. You know? And Bradley went to all different steel bands. And he was missing this. And like I tell him, I say, boy,
the banker.
The banker. We sit here. And it happened right here in New York, right here in Glenda House. We had broken off from Metro. We was going to bring, which we call Pantonic now. Our first name wasn't Pantonic. It was Mystery Band. That was our first year. We sat down. And we sat in her house.
In Glenda's house.
In Glenda's house. She said, Brett, let me hold a meeting. I had went in the Panyard and burst Parkside. Yes, Miss Tony had a Metro. And I gathered some pants. We didn't have no way to put it and all kind of thing. Myself and a couple guys, Keith and Leon and Brian and stuff like that. And we went to, she said, let's hold a meeting. We're going to form we on band. I said, we tired going under Tony with this nonsense. And the idea came up, he said, what are we going to name the band? And these kids are saying, Auntie Glenda, Papi, Mystery Band is a good name. We went to the name Mystery Band for the first year. We came 7th or 8th in the competition out here. Said, that is not me, boy. No way. That is not me, boy. We went to them. Lyndon and Collins was our ranger. And the next year, then let's say, I go in Trinidad. And I go try and bring Clyde. I go try and get Bradley. He said, well, that is a splendid idea. And she started working from there. And she and Clyde built a relationship from that year. Which he just do like she like a mother. And he respect her very much too. Anything she tell him, he listen to her and things like that. Because it's how we just treat him too. You see, they feel we just pamper him. It's not a matter of pampering. Due respect. Due respect. And we know how good he is. He's an intelligent guy. He have ways. Like to just tell you to call us to dummy. He's a dummy and pan and all kind of thing, and make you feel very embarrassed and things like that.
I hear Mr. Bradley reads physics books for fun.
I'm telling you, sis.
He reads physics books for fun.
That he loves to read. When you go to his house, newspaper, all kind of magazine, that's his hobby, just reading. He loves to read. He's an intelligent guy. Mr. Bradley was his name, he was more a sophisticated kind of man. Because he had a lot of difficult experiences to go through, and people too didn't want to get involved with you and them, because that's how they had phase 2 at one time. They had Desperados brand that kind of way too, you know. There's a violent band and this band, and you can't do nothing with them, but the music was sweet. But you have to connect with us. You have to get involved with us, because if you want to reach places at least. PNM band again. PNM was in power. So they always say, Dr. Williams band.
When is the last time you played pan? And what was the last time you played at that time?
69. I remember playing in a group.
Mm-hmm.
I played pan since after that, but not I played but it was real fun. As I just going back from it, we went to a carnival. It was Metro. We had a Metro band, and they went to St. Petersburg Carnival. And for some reason, I didn't want to go. I said, no, I'm not driving. I didn't feel like taking that long drive and things like that. And a guy came to me, Val, who have the pan long neck. He said, Ralph, I'm going to Syracuse Carnival. You want to go with me tomorrow and things like that? And I said, yeah. He said, come like good man, you have a good time. I said, all right. He said, go play up. He said, I am for nothing. He'll give me some rhythm. I said, fine. We get on the van, 5 o'clock in the morning. We drive to Syracuse. When we did reach up there now, he don't have nobody to play. He second pan and thing. Or the guy that he carried couldn't take the music as he taking. And I took up the pan and I came and I started playing and look at Val watching and he laughing. He said, see what I tell you what happened and that? A priest, I don't know if he's Roman Catholic or Anglican or what. And Pius was the time that the past thing, he did up and thing and Ken playing iron and there. And this priest wouldn't move from my knee not for help. Pius making me. Pius says, see where do the priest? I just got like fun all day. The priest in his robe and thing is and he wouldn't move. And yeah, Pius, you see? And that was fun. That was the last year. I don't remember what year it was, you know. I think it was in the 90s something.
So why are you not playing now?
I
see you in the rhythm section, but it would be great to see you.
I know, but you see, and even Panchulas offered to make a pan for me, and Roland doesn't want to do it. Kobajak offered to do it. They rather should have a pan and then thing. But I had to sit down and I think about it, and people have said, boy, you should be playing and things like that. But I never really give it no full thought. I feel like I just put the best I could in the rhythm section, and like Daddy was saying, only have to listen to him because the experience that I have, the fun I could tell them when they're doing something wrong, or what they could do to make it easy for them, and things like that. So I give the youth
the advice.
Yeah, and I give them the privilege because I feel I had it there already. I was there already, and I think so. I just give them the opportunity, like on the stage I would keep just be upset. Papi, you ain't coming and help out until I say no. I feel if I come, I am humbugging, I'm jeopardizing a youth, a younger player from going. When you had to carry 25, I come in, he could get my position, my spot, you understand? And that's why I just stand back and things like that. Bradley wanted me to, wanted me to like,
I just want you on
the fun, Bradley,
in my archive.
Well, I respect that because here's what Bradley wanted to do yesterday morning. He wanted to do a tune. He got so sick and things like that. He wanted to do this Squanter tune.
I'm a bachelor.
He said, Ralph, I think this. I want to play right by you. I want you to play this tune. I said, like, he said, yes, I will do the tune. It's not you alone. You're not the only person, you know. Because it's so, they used to enjoy me playing home. Because I used to have fun. I tell you, from morning, my sweat coming down on the pan. And when I start to play, I didn't used to stop. Like some guys just get tired. When you play, the more I like Michael Jordan, when you play, you don't want to come out. I'm coming out.
I'm coming out in my camcorder next Tuesday morning. Strictly for me.
You know, it's like a fella saying, give me a play, and you have your own fan. In those days, everybody had their own fan because you're on the state side. Roadmen, you might have to interchange. So when you have your pan, you ain't giving anybody your pan to play. You understand? I say, what? When I done play, I hook my pan and I put it on the chop. If I want to play again, I come back and I take it and something like that. I feel like give me a play. No, boy. You know, and men want to jump up with women and say, no. We used to love Tuesday night. We used to have fun just to play a tune to make your band sound good. I just tell them so to them and I say, damn, only ain't doing the thing right, man. I say, look at have fun. But only must make, when we come out, only must make the band song powerful, man. Make the band song good. You have to hold the fort.
Talking about Tuesday morning, I mean, now things have changed. There's such a smaller representation of what used to be a road band. In years gone by, the people who didn't actually make the panorama side used to look forward to coming out to playing on the road. Now,
this is what I'm speaking about. You see, they don't take it as serious as we. First they begin to tell you, they're playing mass. I got to go on the parkway. and all these kind of things. So they didn't have the time to learn a tune. We used to have fun just to learn tune for Juve morning, because Juve morning is it. You're playing your best. People come into your band. So you look for your band tune, you look for a calypso, and you ain't giving nobody no play, because Juve morning, I just have fun Juve morning, because I just get, well, not drunk, but Juve morning I just have my own drink. That's the only time I drink for Labor Day. I have a little bottle of Trinidad, Davies, what we call Bushrum. I have a little bottle of that, I have a little Bacardi White, and that's for me, personally, and I having fun with that. When I reach home, so Juve morning, I will be going so in the house, and I'm pulling people in the street, I say, oh, Papi, you know, so much better, but
that's your time
that, right, it's a nice, it's a decent thing. I'm not disrespecting and thing like that. You know, you might get me singing and say, no, God, take it easy, man. I say, when I'm done, I go and sit down. And the concrete is a bit, I will sit down on the sidewalk and I wait for the band to come up, because, you know, the age, I think. And I get up again and they say, no, God, I got up on the float. And they say, look up, Papi having fun. That is my time. If I just enjoy myself, Juvenmon, then kids don't do that. So I just try to get them and I say, why can't we learn something for Juvenmon? And it's not only in New York this happening. It's happening in Trinidad. That's why I don't go for carnival no more. Because I think it's a waste of time. After Panorama in Trinidad, carnival is true. Yes. Because long time you could have prepared yourself on Frederick Street, Park Street, and wait. You know, steel bands coming this way. Everybody coming up with a bomb tune. And what happening too is the kind of instruments they have now. People want to push it. People don't like to push that. People used to come out. The deceased Brutus again who died. They used to come out Juve morning and they are signed to a certain stand. He hold on to my stand and he's not moving from there. They hold, because the music they go and they're holding on to that stand and they're pushing it. You know, now you can't get people to push a stand. No. You try and get them to take the pan off the stage when they finish playing Panorama night. It's we that have to go back and forth. Yes.
The star mentality.
Huh? I don't know what causing that. I try all out to bring it back. I go home, I tell them, I say, well, look, I don't like the idea of the pants playing on a flatbed. I say, why can't always do it like how we do here on Juve morning? Get a U-Haul and pull the stands. You'll be on the ground, because music, when pan up in here, the music, you don't get it down here. The music going out, you know, it's racing up in the sky, going up in the sky. So you've got to get to crouch it. You've got to
also grounded.
Yeah.
To the earth.
You understand? You've got to fence it to get our music down here. Even the drummer quite up in the air, no kind of thing. Everything going up here. So you've got to put them inside the band. So bring a truck, a U-Haul truck, and pull it on. They say yes, they go try. They never did. They go back up on a truck again. Music up on a truck is a waste of time. I don't enjoy carnival home at all no more.
Just have a couple more minutes. Anything you want to touch on in like about 60 seconds or so? Anything that I didn't mention that you would like to bring out to the global pan community before we wrap up?
I would like the whole of America, man. We have to work together, and steel band on the whole. The kind of a thing that the people that run in the Steel Band Association, or they're saying is the pan fraternity. I would like them to do the right thing and stop studying tricks. And try and communicate with the steel band people. The people who know who could help the steel band thing, they might figure, well, you don't have to have the book sense and thing, but you have the experience, and they could work with the steel band people. There are people that they should be working with, and they're not working with. The steel band fraternity should be well grounded and stop studying what they're doing in Trinidad. This is America. Trinidad have their own thing. America should have their own. You shouldn't pattern from Trinidad, because Trinidad
experiences are different.
I think we're more advanced in a way. You know why I've said so again too? This is very important. As the time short, our Juve in America, much more highly, people that leave Trinidad to come to America to get Juve, because it's steel band only. They just enjoy. I watched some people this year. Some Indians came from Trinidad in Queens. They come with a band. They play with a band. Only Indians, and they have, and I stand up and say, look at this. Look how these people enjoying themselves. All came from Trinidad just to play Juve. They came to New York to enjoy themselves. You know, I'm glad that was a very good point there. So we are a little more advanced. So we can study them in Trinidad. We have to have our own thing out here.
Okay.
you know.
All right.
And I appreciate this. This was fun. You know?
It's been very good having you, Wednesday.
Thank you.
You know, we're very pleased to have the opportunity to speak to historians like yourself, because it's one thing to hear about it. It's one thing to have a documentary, a documented record of people who've lived it, who've been there since the inception, to talk about it, to give us insight. So thank you very, very much, Mr. Rudolph Davies.
What I think what I would like happen to is, like, if I could get on to guys like Emmanuel Riley, they have time, you know, to sit down more and let them tell you about, like, trips we had made together and stuff like that, the experience we had. Because he was a very good, he was a very important part in my life too in the music thing.
Okay, maybe we can have a forum with all of you at some point. Something to think about.
That sounds good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rudolph Davies, Steel Orchestra, Desperados in Trinidad and Tobago founder.